and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us again for our super cute bear a la mode. For our supplies today, make sure that we have a little cup of water to wash brushes, paper towel to dry off brushes, and today we have a large, medium, and small brush. For my colors, I have black and white, blue, green, a lighter yellow, a darker yellow, pink, red, and brown. We're going to start with our biggest brush for our biggest space, which is going to be the sky. I'm going to make a light blue sky. However, if you want to do any different kind of skies, definitely go for it. But I'm going to show you how to make a light blue. We're going to take our big brush, give it a little dip in the water, get things flowing. We're going to tap on the paper so it's not all drippy. And I'm going to find my white and my blue. I'm going to get a really big scoop of white, that off to the side. Mostly white. And just a little bit of blue. I'm gonna mix it all together so I get a nice light blue that I like. Whenever you have a color that you like, we're gonna fill in all of our sky. Nice long brush strokes, smooth out your paint. Take it nice and slow around those edges. You can see on those edges, fill in all that space. I have that color on my brush. I can also wrap it around and paint the little side edges to match. So I'm going to paint all of the edges. Now at the bottom you can paint all of the edge on that bottom part too, or you can leave a little spot blank for now and we can make it that bear color in a little bit. So I'm going to let that sky dry for a little bit. Once it's dry, I'll come back and add some clouds. I'm going to fill in the cone next. I'm going to keep using my big brush, but if you want to use your medium brush, definitely can. I'm going to wash it off, get a good scrub at the bottom of the cup, dry it off. And I'm going to find the lighter of the two yellows. I'm going to make a vanilla cone if you want a different flavored cone. Could do a light brown or a chocolate cone, do a light pink or strawberry cone maybe. Could do a light yellow, so just that yellow by itself. And we're going to fill in all of our cone and painting around the little ice cream. Use your brush into that little pointy part. If it's easier to go to a smaller brush, go for it. Smooth it out. Filling in all of our cones. Nice. So we're going to let that dry now, and we're going to go over here to our bear color. So this is going to be our last step with this big brush, and I'm going to mix up a light brown. So I'm going to find my white. I'm going to get a good scoop. Bring that over to the brown, just a little bit of brown. A little goes a long way. I'm mixing up a really light, like chocolate nut color. A lot of white, just a little bit of brown. To get a color that you like. And I'm going to paint around the nose gonna do a little lighter. I'm gonna paint, there we go. I'm gonna paint around the nose. I can go over the eye, going all the way to the edges. I'm not gonna fill in the ears yet. I'll use a smaller brush, and I'm gonna do a darker brown. Then I'm gonna go all around. And go around the ice cream. Make it nice and slow in those trickier spots. Smooth out your paint. Okay, so once you have all of your bear filled in, just the face part, I'm going to do this little blendy trick. So it looks like our bear is a little bit more rounded. So I'm gonna make the edges just a little darker. So I wiped off my brush a little bit. I'm gonna get some brown just by itself this time. And it's okay if you get a little bit of the light brown on it. It's all gonna blend either way. And I'm gonna start out by making like a nice wide little layer of this brown just by itself. It's okay if it's kind of blending a little bit. We're gonna blend it more here in just a sec. I'm gonna do the same on this other side. So a nice little layer of brown by itself. It's okay if you go over the eyes. And then I'm gonna wash off my brush, drag my brush, and I'm gonna go back to light brown. So I have light brown back on my brush. I'm gonna place my brush on that line. So I'm gonna place my brush half on the light brown, half on the dark brown. Bring that a little closer so you can see. So half on the light brown, half on the dark brown, right there. And we do long brush strokes. Back and forth. So that line softens and fades. You can bring a little bit more of that dark brown into your light and some of the light into the dark. Do the same on the other side. Back and forth. Long brush strokes. Once that line is gone, you got it all done. So after you have it nice and blended how you like, I'm gonna switch to my medium brush and I'm gonna fill in the ears and the nose with dark brown. So, smaller brush, I'm gonna get a little bit of brown. You can use that smallest brush you have also if you like. I'm gonna paint around the nose. And if you want to lighten this up, if it's a little dark, you can definitely add a little bit of white to it. I'm gonna go over the little mouth, just smooth it out so you can still see that line a little bit. I'll go around the little tongue, around the nose, around the tongue. Keep it nice and slow. Smooth it out. outside of the ear. Very cool. So let's let that dry now. And we're gonna go back over here to our sky because it should be a little drier now. And we're gonna add those little clouds. So for this little step, we're going to use our finger brush. I'm gonna get a little bit of white on my finger. And a couple ways you can make clouds. You can make tappy clouds. So tap, 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 tap. Maybe a little fluffier in the center of that cloud, and then just fade out on the edges. You can also do scrubby little circles, so circle, 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 circle. Rub it in. The less paint you have on your finger, the more fluffy they're gonna look. But either way is good. You can do combination. Remaining a few times. Beautiful. So we have some clouds. I'm gonna make the waffle texture on my cone next. So I'm gonna find my smallest brush that I have to get it really, really nice and pointy. I'm gonna go to my dark yellow this time. If you need it a little darker, you can add a little brown to it if you want, but I use just the dark yellow by itself. I'm gonna twist and drag, twist and drag. And that makes it a lot pointier in the end. And still holds a good amount of paint. I'm going to press pretty lightly, so I'm just kind of keeping it on the very, very end of that brush. If you feel the metal part of that brush, press in way too hard. A little lighter. Whenever you run out of paint, just grab a little bit more instead of pressing a little harder. So I'm gonna go around the edges, pressing lightly. I keep grabbing more paint. It can be kind of a thick outline, that's okay. We want to be able to see those lines. I'm gonna outline there. And we're gonna make those waffle textures. So I'm gonna follow this line to this line here. I'll just make another one of these just a little further in. The same angle. Okay. It's okay if it's a little lumpy. And then do another one. Skip a little space. Same angle. Do another one. Another one. Whatever you have room for. So that's one half of the waffle, and then we're gonna do a crisscross against it. So wherever you want to start, I'm just gonna crisscross it. Waffle texture. So I'm gonna let that dry now, and I'm gonna wash off my brush, dry off my brush, and I'm gonna fill in the little tongue real quick. You can do that in red. I did a red. You can do pink. You can do a light pink by mixing a little white into the pink. Or using that same little brush. Don't need much pink, it's a small space. And fill in that little tongue. Next, so that was a quick step. I'm gonna fill in my ice cream flavors next. So I'm gonna start with my strawberry. Over here, it's drooping down. So for that, I'm gonna get a little scoop of white, put that over, a couple of scoops, put that over by my pink, a little bit of pink. Mix up nice light pink that you like. Yours could be lighter than mine, yours can be darker than mine, it's okay. And I'm gonna fill in this little piece over here. And then with that little drip. There we are. And let's wash off brush and dry brush. So my vanilla color is going to be a little scoop of white over by my dark yellow, a little bit of dark yellow, and all the white is going to make a nice cream color. Like vanilla ice cream. And you can definitely do different colors on any of these if you want them all the same flavor. It definitely can be. So for this one, I mix a good amount of white, a lot of white, and just a little bit of that darker of the two yellows. So nice vanilla kind of creamy color. And then my last little piece of ice cream, I made like a minty color. So again, good scoop of white. I'm gonna put that over here by that green and mix it together. If you want it a little bit more green, and a little less minty color, you can add a little bit of that lighter of the two yellows, and that'll add a little bit more true green to it, a little less blue. And that's gonna be a minty color. Okay. Next, so we have some ice cream, and our next little step, we're gonna let that dry a little bit. We're gonna go over here to our bigger shapes with the black paint. So, tiny little brush, I'm gonna find my black paint over here. I'm gonna give it a twirl to get it as pointy as I can. That's easier to use. And I'm gonna fill in the little your centers. If you want to make these pink, definitely can. Take it very slowly. Whenever you're working with the black paint, it can get kind of smudgy pretty quickly. So take it slow, have lots of patience with it. The slower you go, the more control you have on your brush. I'm gonna nice and slow. I'm gonna fill in the nose. And if you want to make a pink nose, or a blue nose, or a green nose, definitely can. I'm gonna take it extra slow with the lines. So I'm going to follow that little line in the middle, going up to the top. If you want to trace around your nose, you can, but don't have to. Okay, very slowly. And then our last little step, I'm going to go over the eyes. Each time I make a little line, notice I'm getting a little twirl, making that brush pointy again, because each time you make a line, it kind of squishes the end a little bit. So each time I want a thin line, I'm going to make sure I'm giving it a twist to make it pointy. If you have a girly bear, maybe you don't have to. You're just on that one. You should put that one. It's up to you. Beautiful. So we're getting to our last little steps here. So last little steps are just always little finishing touches of white, little highlights, little glimmers. I'm going to use my little brush. Since it just had black paint on it, I'm going to give it a couple really good scrubs on the bottom of my cup and make sure it's really coming clean on the paper towel there. And I'm going to use some white. I'm going to do my little trick, twisting and twirling into some white paint. And it's up to you if you want to add these. Don't have to add these, whatever you think. I'm going to add a little shine on the cone. So right underneath that kind of outline line, right inside, I'm going to give a little scratch, just let it trail off. Little highlight. I'm going to get a little bit more on my ice cream. It's shiny, it's kind of melty, right? So it's catching that light on hers. I'm painting inside. So wherever you want, really on the ice cream part. It's very shiny, it's very melty. Put little birds inside. And that little melty guy. So I have little sweeps, little scratches of white. Make it like a little more melty. I'm going to stop the brush just in case. And my last little touches of white are going to be on the ears, the nose, and the tongue. I'll do the tongue first since that one's the most dry right now. And do a little sweep, just a tiny one. I'm gonna go to the ears, put a little curve, and then last little one on top of the nose. Beautiful! So cute, guys! I hope you enjoyed this one. This one is adorable and just in time for summer. Thank you so much for painting with me today, and we'll see you next one.